So why the Crucible? What made you decide to write an opera on the Crucible?
Well, the story was one which was not only very well known at that time, the witchcraft trials in Salem, Massachusetts, but also Arthur Miller had established by that time quite a great reputation, but he had also married Marilyn Monroe, so that got press, and but also it had this background of politics in the United States, and I was quite wary of these things at first, but this story turned out to be so powerful, and we had seen one of the early performances of it, and so when I came out of that I was very moved, and my only thought was, how do I get in touch with Arthur Miller as soon as possible? So I did.
What was it like to work with Arthur Miller on this project?
Well, he was wonderful, and he was so wonderful on this one perhaps because when he first thought about doing a dramatic treatment of this, he thought it might make a better opera than a play. And he was a great friend. Do you know the name of Mark Blitzstein, the composer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mark was a good friend of Arthur's, and so at one point he called Mark and he said, "Hey Mark, how long did it take you to learn to write the music for an opera?" And Mark said, "Oh hell, Arthur," he said, "I don't know." He said, "How long did it take you to learn to write a great play?" And he said, "Oh, 20 years. And Mark said, "Well, it'll take you at least that long again." And Arthur said, "Thanks, Mark," and hung up the phone. I also knew that he had thought about opera right from the start. He even had a kind of sketch of a first scene he thought about, which was the girls dancing in the woods and one of them taking her clothes off. And that in the movie, the recent movie, actually is the scene which starts it. We did not do that. We wanted to get to the guts of the opera sooner, and you have to make considerable cuts when you're working from a play in terms of just to make it the right length.
How do you decide what to cut?
Well, it's those things which sometimes add color to the play, but if they're not strongly involved in the dramatic development of the play, in other words, the course of the development among the characters and the situations, then you can afford, for instance, in the second act of the play, he has quite a little long section in which he's questioned about the 10 Commandments, and he forgets, "Thou shalt not get into, another man's wife," and so forth. And it got a little laugh in the show, but it was very unimportant. So we cut that whole section. Well, that took, 3 or 4 minutes out of that act.
It's 50 years later since
Yeah.
the premiere. How do you feel today?
Well, I feel, physically I'm 93, so I don't feel quite as active as I was then. But in terms of the opera, it's got staying power. It keeps being produced, and now all over the world. And I think it's the political thing which it holds for many countries in the world at this point. And so I'm naturally very happy about that, because that was what attracted us to it, this powerful story.